George Frederick Geoffrey Hawtrey. Known as Charles Hawtrey, born November 30, 1914. Passed away October 27, 1988. Was an English actor, comedian, singer, pianist and theatre director. He began at an early age as a boy soprano, in which role he made several records, before moving on to radio. His later career encompassed the theatre, as both actor and director, the cinema, where he regularly appeared supporting Will Hay in the 1930s and 1940s in films such as The Ghost of St. Michael's, Through the Carry-On films, and television. Life and career. Hawtrey was born in Hounslow, Middlesex, England, in 1914, to William John Hawtrey, 1885–1952, and his wife Alice, née Crowe, 1880–1965, of 217, Cromwell Road, as George Frederick Geoffrey Hawtrey. He took his stage name from the theatrical knight Sir Charles Hawtrey, and encouraged the suggestion that he was Hawtrey's son, though his father was actually a London car mechanic. Following study at the Italia Conti Academy of Theatre Arts in London, he embarked on a career in the theatre as both actor and director. 1920s and 1930s. Hawtrey made his first appearance on the stage in Boscombe, a suburb of Bournemouth, as early as 1925. At the age of 11, he played a street Arab in Frederick Bowyer's fairy play The Windmill Man. His London stage debut followed a few years later when, at the age of 18, he appeared in another fairy extravaganza, this time at the Scala Theatre singing the role of the White Cat and Bootblack in the juvenile opera Bluebell in Fairyland. The music for this popular show had been written by Walter Slaughter in 1901, with a book by Seymour Hicks, providing part of the inspiration for J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan. In Peter Pan at the London Palladium in 1931, Hawtrey played the first twin, with leading parts taken by Jean Forbes Robertson and George Curzon. This played in several regional theatres, including His Majesty's Theatre in Aberdeen. In 1936, Hawtrey played in a revival of the play, this time taking the larger role of Slightly, alongside the husband-and-wife partnership of Elsa Lanchester and Charles Laughton playing Peter and Hook. A review in the Daily Telegraph commended Hawtrey for having a comedy sense not unworthy of his famous name. Hawtrey played in Bats in the Belfry, a farce written by Diana Morgan and Robert McDermott, which opened at the Ambassadors Theatre, Shaftesbury Avenue, on March 11, 1937. The cast included Ivor Barnard and Dame Lillian Braithwaite, as well as Vivian Leigh in the small part of Jessica Morton. The play ran for 178 performances at the Ambassadors Theatre, before moving to the Hippodrome, Golders Green, Barnet, on August 16, 1937. Hawtrey acted in films from an early age, first appearing while still a child, and as an adult his youthful appearance and wit made him a foil to Will Hay's blundering old fool in the comedy films Good Morning, Boys, 1937, and Where's That Fire? 1939. In all, he appeared in more than 70 films including, from this period, Alfred Hitchcock's Sabotage, 1936. Hawtrey had another success on stage when he was cast in the role of Gremio in Tyrone Guthrie's production of The Taming of the Shrew in 1939 at the Old Vic, in which Roger Livesey starred as Petruchio and his wife, Ursula Jeans, as Catherine. Hawtrey was an accomplished musician. He recorded as a boy soprano and was billed as the angel-voiced choirboy even at the age of 15. In 1930 he recorded several duets with the girl soprano Evelyn Griffiths, aged 11, for the Regal label. He was a semi-professional pianist for the armed forces during the Second World War. Later life and career. Although the Carry-On films made a handsome return for their producer, Peter Rogers, the cast were not well remunerated, commonly receiving a standard fee of £5,000 per film. Hawtrey used public transport to get to and from work, and was once given a lift to Pinewood Studios by Laurence Olivier. Requested to embrace Barbara Windsor at a meeting with the press, Hawtrey hurriedly left the room, requesting a man in her place. Hawtrey moved in 1968 to Deal, in Kent, reputedly because of the sailors at the local naval base. He lived at 117, Middle Street, Deal, where he remained until his death. There is a small commemorative blue plaque on the front exterior wall of this property to identify his former residence. Hawtrey cut an eccentric figure in the small town, becoming well known for promenading along the seafront in extravagant attire, waving cheerfully to the fishermen and for frequenting establishments patronized by students of the Royal Marine School of Music. Death. On October 24, 1988, Hawtrey collapsed in the doorway of the Royal Hotel in Deal, shattering his femur, and was rushed by ambulance to the Buckland Hospital in Dover. He was discovered to be suffering from peripheral vascular disease, a condition of the arteries brought on by a lifetime of heavy smoking. Hawtrey was told that to save his life, his legs would have to be amputated. He refused the operation, allegedly saying that he preferred to die with his boots on. And died at 3:30 a.m. on October 27, 1988, at Windthorpe Lodge Nursing Home in Walmer, near Deal. It was claimed that on his deathbed he threw a vase at his nurse, who asked for an autograph. On November 2, 1988, he was cremated and his ashes were scattered in Mortlake Crematorium, close to Chiswick in London. Just 9 mourners attended, no friends or family were there.